Hey everybody, I'm just kind of doing another vlog here real quick, kind of letting you know what's going on. As you might be able to see, I'm actually back home. What does this really mean? Well, not too much at the moment. It means that the volcano has calmed down for the moment, but does not mean that we're in the clear yet. Just over that hill behind us. You can't see it from here, but I understand that there's still ash coming out of the volcano on the other side. It's just kind of calmed down at the moment, and they've reduced the exclusion zone or the danger zone down to 10 kilometers from the crater of the volcano. So we are outside of that. Our house is just barely a couple of kilometers outside of that zone, I think. I mean, I know we're outside of the zone, but if I'm not mistaken, we're at kilometer, like from the crater, 12 to our house, and the exclusion zone is 10 kilometers. So we're allowed to be here. As you can see, the volcano really didn't do much to our area. That's just common, evidently, from what people say, but that does not mean that at some point the volcano could not erupt on this side. It very well could. That's why they are having an exclusion zone around the radius of the volcano. Even though it hasn't done it, at least for a long time, it could happen. So with that in mind, I'm trying to get back into some kind of schedule. We've been home now for about a week, I guess. And I've just got projects that are loading up on me and things. And I have been working to kind of get some stuff finished up. And I'm kind of changing my work style here. I'm not taking as many jobs from the neighbors. I'm doing other work that's more focused. Clearly, I'm still trying to get the Rocky done because, well, I haven't been here in a month to be able to work on it, basically. And I need to get that finished up because I really want this thing to be ready to sell. I would really hate it to be sitting here and something happened to it and me lose all this work and the Rocky. I've also got a number of projects that we're going to try to get done on the Trooper when I have some time. One of the things that we thought about this time was, while we have emergency backpacks made, if we're out and about in Ensenada or whatever, and something happens, the volcano starts to go off, there are two other exits that we might need to use, and we wouldn't be coming back home to get our emergency pack. So I'm rethinking the design of the Trooper a little bit to be more friendly for that kind of stuff. Truth of the matter is that here in Chile, you can't just leave stuff in the back of your truck. You leave stuff in the back of your truck, it's more than likely going to get broken into and stolen if you park it in the city. Just a quick example, a friend of ours had a bag of apples in the back of his truck, in his Montero, and they busted the window and took the bag of apples out and just threw them all over the parking lot. So they probably thought it was something else, and that's what happened. So it's better to try to keep it as clean as possible inside, and I need to get some drawers and stuff in there so I can hide stuff and it not be as noticeable. So that's the idea, but that means I will have to, in the end, do a what's it called? A swing out tire carrier. So I'm kind of thinking that kind of stuff over, because I'd rather be safe than if the tire carrier rattles a little bit, which it probably will. I'd rather be safe than be like, you know, not have a rattle. So I'm just gonna see what's going on with that, and then I'll go from there. But that's kind of what's happening for now, just so you guys know. And I've got a couple of projects over here. I've been working to modify the side steps that I took off of the Trooper. They're being modified for a what's it called? A Toyota Hilux, a 2009 model. I had some issues trying to figure out how to mount them, but I think I might have gotten it figured out. So this is one of those examples of a very simple project that has taken me way too much time and cost me more money than it was worth because of design issues, design flaws. The idea I originally had didn't work, so now I'm having to go over it again. But in the end, I'm doing this for some friends, so it's worth it because it was actually some of the friends that we stayed with, and they helped us, they let us stay with them and stuff for a while. So me having to spend a little bit more time on them isn't the end of the world. But yeah, this happens in fabrication. Anybody who's been around fabrication for a while knows that. And honestly, it won't be the last time I lose a lot of time and some money doing fabrication work. The idea is just to minimize that as much as possible. I've also got the side steps, or the rock sliders. They're actually rock sliders because they're beefy and made for that, for the trooper to be done as well. And I've got some fog lights I've got to put on. So I've got a bunch of projects that I've got to do. Plus I've got some roof ladders that I've got to make for my neighbor that go up on the roof up there, so that you can climb up, walk up them on the roof when it's raining and not like slide off the roof, which has happened a couple times almost. Me and the local workers are trying to get up to clean out the chimney, and because it's wet, you start to slide. And even though this year it's been less rainy than normal, here it usually rains quite a bit, so that's a true concern. So they want me to build some of those, and I've got to do that for them as well. And then hopefully once all that's done, I'll just be fully on off-road and trailer builds. So we'll see what happens. Till next time, please don't forget to stop by. I have a relatively new podcast out episode. It was put out, I think, last week. It's episode 28. It has Dan Cole from the 4x4 podcast as the guest, and he's talking about his no welding needed DIY expedition trailer build, and it's pretty cool actually, so make sure you go check that out. Alright, well, thanks again, and I hope you guys have a very good week.